Hi guys, I'm John.
I'm Terry.
Welcome back to Salt Creek Living. Today we're going to do the 10 things you cannot do without in a emergency kit or evacuation kit or whatever you want to call it. So these are 10 things, more like some of them are in categories, but they're 10 things you can't do without in our opinion. If you have any other opinions yourself or suggestions, feel free to comment and we'll go from there. But wait till the end because we have what we feel is the most overlooked item when it comes to emergency kits.
We're going to start out at number 10, which is the most able to live without, and work our way to the most important.
Okay, so number 10 would be lights, like flashlights, that kind of thing. This is a solar powered lantern. The cell's right there. You can hang it from your pack. It also has a little flashlight on it. And you can hang it up. It's not super bright, it's just to illuminate, bright enough to cook or get something dealt with. A headlamp is more important than a flashlight because it frees up your hands. This one has batteries, AAA, so make sure if you have one with batteries that you have extra batteries. If you don't have one with batteries, make sure you have a way to charge it. Number 9 is cooking. This is just a 2-cup STANLEY Cookset. It's 20 ounces of water and it has 2 cups, but that's enough water to boil for any of your prepared meals. So that's why I have this one. But also goes along with cooking is what you're gonna cook it on, stoves. The reason it's number 9 is because if you have fire, you can cook on a fire. You don't have to have a stove. That stove was $10 without the fuel cell. You gotta buy the fuel cell separately. Or if you want one that doesn't take propane, this is another one that I have, and it is kind of like a little smokeless fire pit.
It's like a solo.
It's like a solo stove, and I have pellets from my smoker that I'd keep in there, or you can flip it up if you have a smaller cup, and when the flame is going, it sits on top like that. That will also put off a tremendous amount of heat. Number 8 is knives. I actually would say it'd be more important, but a good knife, a good field knife. This is a Ned Foss. I don't know much about the brand, but it is a good heavy knife with a good full tang. You want the full tang and you want it thick so you can do what's called batoning, where if you need to split a log, you can stick it in there and take another piece of wood, and I'll actually show you how we do it. This one has a ferrule rod or a whistle on it. This particular knife is a good field knife, but it's also something that would be more like a survival knife. Included in the knife section, I would include a multi-tool. If you only could have one, get a good multi-tool. This is the Leatherman Surge. The reason I like this one is because that knife blade is actually a full knife blade. It's not those little tiny thin ones, and it's a good sized pair of pliers. This is the one I would carry every day for work, and instead of buying new wire cutter blades, I just bought a whole new unit. Number 7 is first aid. You don't need something huge. Whatever your training is, I would go one step above your training. If you're not trained in first aid, very basic, plus a tourniquet. This is just a basic kit. I got this from Walmart years and years ago just to throw in anytime we went hiking, and I think it was $23 at the time. I never used it, but I did put a tourniquet in it. It does have a tourniquet and a bunch of Tylenol and things like that. Like I said, one stage above your training would be the type of first aid kit you would need. Number 6 is communications. And that includes all communications, including your charging port, what you're going to use to charge it. This is a solar one. We went over this in a previous video. You can see we're in the shade and it's still charging. Bare minimum, this is a crank radio. I got this just the other day. It said 1 minute of cranking gives you 9 minutes of listening or light. Where we live, transmission kind of sucks, and we were able to pick up local radio stations from Salt Lake. So even up the canyon where we don't even have phone service, you can still listen to this. The walkie-talkies or ham radios. This is the small ham radios, the BAOFENG UV5R. I'd set it in all of our videos. The reason why is everybody has them. They're super cheap. I haven't programmed this one, but it's and it will work as a walkie-talkie. This one is more of a long-range walkie-talkie. This is what we use when we go hunting. It's a 10-watt walkie-talkie. It has 11 channels. It's Retevis is the brand, and we've never had any problem getting through to each other in the canyons. So at least something you can communicate with your family. Bare minimum, something you can listen to what's going on. This is something we haven't covered in any of our videos. We've been shying away from it mostly because of rules. That would include a friend and lots of food for that friend. I like to carry the SIG, but whatever you're comfortable with is what I would say carry. If you're not comfortable with guns, carry a knife. You need something. Whatever you're comfortable with and trained in, do not carry a gun. Don't go buy a gun and then not get trained in it. You need to learn how to use it. It is a tool. If you don't know how to use it, it can be used against you. Number 4 is food, and there's a couple different ways you can do food. This is freeze-dried, prepared food. All you got to do is add boiling water. These are usually $8 to $9, $10, $12 a pouch sometimes. But if you can't afford that, then what I would do, this is kind of what we call make our own. This is $1.25 for this packet of chicken flavored rice. It used to be Lipton, so I always call it Lipton rice. Then $3 can of canned chicken. This is a pop top, and then you boil this, put the chicken in while it's boiling, and you have a full, basically one of these meals. This happens to be beef stew, but the chicken and rice meal, if you got that, would be basically this. So whatever you guys like, can afford, whatever you have. I took this out of my basement for my food storage to show you. I learned how to do this when I was a scout. We went a 50-mile backpacking trip in the Uintas, and one of the meals was Lipton chicken rice and a can of chicken, and we just split it between the two of us. And that's actually where I learned this meal. We do it all the time at home when we're just to eat it anyways. It's not just survival food. Or it's even better if you have like stuffing, like stovetop. And then the next is water. And I don't have water. And the reason why these are 3, 2, 1 is the rules of 3. If you don't know what that is, it's 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, and 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. And that's the rules of 3. This is a life straw. I've gone over this in many of the videos too. I like this. This actually will screw onto a 2-liter bottle, a pop or 20-ounce bottle, or just a regular water bottle. So you can use that as your collection and screw this on, and then you can drink it through that while you do it. That at bare minimum, this, and it's supposed to, I think it said 1,100 gallons, which is a lot of water. One is none. So I actually have 2 in here, but the other thing I carry is these little tablets. They don't taste great, but you won't get giardia. Number 2 is fire, and the reason why that is because you need fire to purify your water and to stay warm as part of the shelter thing. 3 ways to start a fire is what I would include as your fire. I have a lighter, which if it gets wet, it's done, 100% done. That's my first method. Then I have either these Typhoon matches or these fire starter strips. You just light them and you get like 12 minutes to start them. Even if the wood is wet, it'll still start stuff. And then the third way is the ferro rod. And I include 3 ways in every kit that I put together, because you don't have fire, you're gonna die. Unless it's the summertime and you can do without fire. You'll still need it to boil water. And the number 1, for sure, you need shelter. Whether, it doesn't matter if it's middle of summer or the middle of winter, you need shelter. You'll either die of sun exposure or you'll die of hypothermia. Either way, you're gonna die of exposure. You need some sort of shelter. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. We carry part of that. I always duct tapes and everything. I consider my rope as part of shelter, but we also consider it part of the put things back together. Part of that is this life tent, just a Mylar tent. And it's just an old school pup tent. You just tie it between 2 trees, stake it down, usually you'll find rocks, something like that. That's gonna be your windbreak. If it's raining, you need to have something to keep the rain off, so you want a poncho. I don't care if it's a plastic bag, you need something. And then this is an emergency bivy sack, which is an emergency blanket, emergency sleeping bag. Oh, and then your regular Mylar blanket act as a tarp, double up as a tarp. These are going to be your shelters, okay? Now, one thing that we did in a previous video last year, we're talking about cheap preps. Someone mentioned to us something we didn't know, that when you wrap yourself up in these emergency Mylar blankets, you can actually, in extreme cold weather, because it doesn't breathe, you sweat and the water drips back on you, you can actually freeze to death in that. So you want to make sure if you use them, you're not falling asleep, you're paying attention to if you're getting wet. There's one other thing that I think is in my mind better than an emergency blanket. It saved the lives of many soldiers in the Battle of the Bulge, and that is a wool blanket. I ordered this one. It was $29, I think. And this is a 70-30. I didn't want to get 100% because I would freak out about itching all the time. But it's actually pretty freaking big. We can actually wrap both of us up in it, and this will keep us warm. And it'll actually work even when it's snowy or rainy. If it gets wet, you'll still stay warm. A lot of people like the poncho liners, and so one of the two I would say get. It's just depend on your personal preference. That is heavy. It's about 3.5 pounds. But what I would do is I'm gonna fold it up with a tarp, 4x6 tarp, and roll it up and make a bedroll around the outside of the pack, kind of like the old cowboys or scouts did. The bonus thing, in our opinion, the most overlooked thing when it comes to emergency supplies, preparedness, anything like that, the number one item is books. It's knowledge. We have some books here that we like. We just got this one, and we ordered a different one, and it was a fake one. It wasn't the Navy SEALs bug-in guide, but this is awesome. It has so much information. This one too, I bought in 2021. It's a crisis preparedness handbook. It's like 400 pages of anything you can think of in a crisis. Any crisis it covers. And then this is a big one too, herbal antibiotics. So we know antibiotics are going to be in short supply. If society collapses, we know that antibiotics is going to be in short supply. And so this guides us through what we can try naturally. You've heard me mention some of my books in some of the previous videos that I write books. I write fiction, post-apocalyptic fiction, and a lot of the stuff that we go over in our videos is actually in our books. This is the first book, it's Infiltrated, and the second book is United. I just relaunched book 3 2 months ago, it was Exodus. Basically, it's about a family trying to survive when the society collapses. It's just for entertainment, but we always try to include some survival tips, preparation tips in those. So if you like the videos, you might want to check out the books if you like to read. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed the video today, and we hope that you got some value out of it. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.